It was good. It's been like some days. How you guys been? It's November. Yeah, it's November. I've been chilling so far. I gotta get me this. I gotta get me a new webcam. I realized that the laptop I'm using could. I was testing out this. I was testing out my because I I just gotta get me a new webcam because the laptop I'm using should be able to should be able to expand, but not this time around. But maybe another time. Maybe another time I'll have a microphone thing set up later. But for now, I just wanted to sit down and talk. You know, I realized that I realized that life sucks for Gen Z. Like really, it sucks for Gen Z. I don't know if we'll ever really get to see the finish line. And I'm really thinking about this too. So I've realized something very important about family and relationships. Now, my brother was showing me someone that I knew a long time ago, and mashallah to him, he became a sergeant. I've never heard of a Gambian becoming a sergeant in my life. This is the first of our generation I get to witness it. Mwah! Beautiful. 10 out of 10. Like if I can meet him again, shake his hand, dab him up, I'll do his dad. But then I realized something. Oh, by the way, if you guys notice, I'm trying out different angles and stuff to see what works. And I kind of like this one because I didn't want to go close up today. So yeah, that's why that's why. But I actually like it though. I actually like this way. I got the nice lighting and I got the muscles. Ooh, I just came back from the gym too. Oh, sorry, I'm getting I'm getting carried away. Sorry, but it really did. But but then I asked myself, man, it's like there were times in my life where I could have taken that route, but then I realized I asked myself, what is holding me back? Like, what is physically, biologically is holding me back? The only person was holding me back was me, but primarily I was allowing myself to tell everything to my sister or my mother. At the time, they were okay, but then they went against. And to this very day, there's so I don't know. I don't know, man. Women's are very complicated. I swear to God. Like, no one ever prepared me for any of this nonsense, man. Women's are one of the most complicated things on earth. Okay, I'm gonna say it. Complicated. I could sit down here and talk about talk about women on its own, but it's a headache, man. It's a real headache. I don't know how my grandfather done it. I don't know how my ancestors had to deal with this nonsense. Maybe they had it more easier than me, but maybe they just had it more easier. I just don't know. I'm just guessing at this point. But you never want to go back to old relationships and old families, man, because they're like a relic of a past. It's like it's like you it's like you had one bad experience and you never want to go back to that. One bad relationship and you never want that to happen again. And to me, I'm very distant to my sisters and my mother. You know, and it sucks too. We should all be working together. We should be able to allow ourselves to achieve our goals, taking saying going above and beyond and doing everything. But instead, We're constantly fighting. We're constantly forcing people to do things that no one wants them to do just because we're age. It's like that doesn't mean shit. And they're so comparison. They're so similar to as well. The relationships are very toxic. Then I ask myself, what kind of relationship did my mom or my dad have with their parents? Was it just as bad as us or more? That's a question that I have to ask personally myself and really, really, really dig deep into this one. Cause I'm really curious on what kind of relationship I have with them. I'm kind of curious what kind of relationship like my parents had with them. But as far as Gen Z goes, yeah, we're slapping the face. I mean, the elections in a couple of days. I guess that's cool. I mean, shit for anyone who voted. I mean, I hope you took the time to really think about who you want your next leader to be, and rather than letting your emotions fluctuate and not let your emotions dictate your actions. But yeah, I was gonna sit down today, maybe do a couple boxing videos and stuff, but I don't know. Like my algorithm is so weird. It's like when I first started, it was great, and then MIA distance, and all I'm doing is just sitting down, spilling nothing but facts. I upload shadowboxing, and I'm like, wow, that's amazing. I'm just like, dude, dude. Don't get me wrong. I have been doing shadowboxing, but I have been doing shadowboxing, but I've been so lazy to just go record. I basically do it. I basically do it every day, but I haven't had the opportunity to sit down and actually record and film myself. I should be doing that. I should be really be doing that, but for some reason I'm not. It's just funny. That's him. Hilarious. I know. I look back at this time and I can only reminisce something a bit more. That's pretty much what's going on. You know, I hope you guys are doing fantastic, doing great. I know daylight saving was like yesterday or today. Let me see. I think daylight savings, if I'm not mistaken, was today. I just want to look up real quick. Yes, the daylight savings actually is today. By the time I'm recording, November 13th. So you know what that means. Days are shorter and night are longer. It's gonna be one of those. It's gonna be a very, very dark month. Very gloomy. Very well. That's even if we get snow up here. That's even if we get snow up here. We rarely get snow like that. And the snow we get only lasts for about a day, and then the rest is just cold weather. I remember snow day used to really be a snow day. Like you would go outside knowing that you had an entire maybe 2, 3 weeks worth of snow worth of snow, white, big, puffy snow. The feeling when you go outside and the feeling when you look out the window, you're like, wow, we're about to have the best day ever, man. Shit, I remember when my school was closed because of it, and I was like, hell yeah, go outside, grab the sleigh, everyone out in the neighborhoods, just having fun, throwing massive snowball fights, making giant snowballs, creating little avalanches, and making snowmans and snow angels. And in the end, we all semi camp in a heater. I know some people, and we drink some nice hot cocoa. Where did those are little fun memories, man. It was times like these where everyone came together and everyone just had fun. No matter how cold it got, we had an entire day to ourselves. Best day ever, in my opinion. Extremely best day ever. But snow day doesn't feel like a snow day anymore, man. It's like even if we do get snow days, it's like because of because of because of COVID-19 and the pandemic saga and the pandemic portion, online classes and virtual has become the norm. So if they can't go physically, as long as you have access to internet and some form of device, you're basically good. You could just sit down at home. You're still in class, class in session. And most kids are not even really outside. They're not playing, they're not doing anything. And it's a shame too, because I go to a park, like I go to many parks, and half of the parks are typically empty. Or it's like that one kid playing basketball, or so that one kid playing basketball alone. Either he's dribbling, either he's dribbling his heart out, or there's that other, or there's that one other kid that just plays alone. And I really feel bad. I'm like, wow, times change. Times change, man. Like, where did the years go? Everyone feels so isolated, so alone, so afraid. And it doesn't help that there is a physical problem and no one cares. It's like absolutely no one cares. And I'm like, this is not normal. It's not even healthy. It's a crime. I remember while I was going through my darkest time of my life and no one gave a shit. This is when I was like 18, 19 years old, right? let's just say that let's just say that I had somebody once in my life who lived in the same neighborhood, who was our so-called friend, who scammed me out. I thought that, mind you, I was like 18 years old, so I didn't really know better. I thought that we was going to make money. I was excited. I didn't think this through. I didn't think this through. I just, I basically was too gullible. I didn't think of this. Now, was some of it was my fault? Now, yes, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna sit here. I'm gonna say yes. I made, yeah, yeah, terrible mistake in my opinion. Like if I would, like if I would, eh, like if I would have confronted 18-year-old me, I would have slapped him in the face. Like what you doing? He's ruining your life. You gotta do better, man. But I realized at that moment they never gave a shit. They were emphasizing with him more than your own son. You know what my father told me on that day? We were at the bank trying to see if we were able to trying to fix this whole situation, and obviously the bank couldn't do much. You know what my father told me right in front of my face? He told me why you always had to be so stupid, and that hurts. That that fucking hurts. Sure, I've made terrible mistakes in my life, and sure, I've made stupid decisions. But this wasn't even in my control. Human biology and simple manipulation got through a whole 18-year-old, and the best thing and in this situation, he's at his lowest, he's scared, he doesn't know what to do, and he's trying everything he can to fix this. And the best thing you could tell your son is that my relationship with him died on that day. Yeah, sure, my dad has done terrible things. But I never said to myself, my dad wasn't a terrible father. no matter how hard he tried to be. But 18-year-old me lost all respect, lost all trust in my family. On that very day, I died. I sat in a corner on that night playing some kind of music. I don't even recall what music it was. And something inside of me just awoke. Anger was feeling my heart. I think I still have a scar. Let me give you a little close up. I don't even think you can even see the scar, but there is a massive, there's a not a massive scar, but like a relatively decent scars. I gave myself. I was at the lowest of my life, and no one ever thought about am I okay or doing this and that. Mind you, 18-year-old college student just trying to figure out life. No was no defense. There was nothing. Everything was on me. And that sucked. Imagine you're so obsessed. Imagine you had an exception and this idea. You really did look up your father. But then all that love just molded into hate. Till this very day, I never forgave him. I mean, right now, he's not here with me. He's not dead or anything like that, but my mom and dad had a very terrible relationship that built up from years. They separated, unfortunately. I haven't spoken to him since, and I never forgave him. I don't think I ever will. It's the past that will haunt the future. No matter how hard they try to move on, I'm always going to remind them that I will never forget what you did to me, to your son, their brother, the person you were supposed to protect, even in his darkest hours, but couldn't. I'm not as all as what people may see me as, like this, all this great inspiration, like this great big hero. There's a lot more that I wish I could tell, but that's another story for another time. All I could do now is reminisce the past and acknowledge that as well. I learned from it, learned from the mistakes, and I became better. You know, my standards became higher, and I distanced myself from anything right as well. It's affected my relationships, but I gave myself peace, and I'm happy with that. I wouldn't trade it for anything, not even for religion. Absolutely not. But this video has gone long enough. I don't want to drag you guys any more longer than it has been. But I don't know if I'm gonna put a title on this video, but I'll just probably just think of something. But I'll just think of something. The grind don't stop until it stops, but even I'm questioning about that. No, I'm not feeling down or anything like that, but just wanted to speak on my mind and start to just wanted to reflect on things. But hope I'll see you around.